Welcome back to another Film Geek movie review. In just a moment, I'm going to be walking my happy butt over to the futon because I'm checking out the Netflix original, Don't Move. So what's the plot of this movie? Well, it tells the story of a woman who is stuck in the woods with a killer. And to make matters worse, this killer has injected her with a serum that is going to make her completely paralyzed but aware of everything that's about to happen to her. So she has to run, fight, do whatever she can to get away from this guy in the woods with only 20 minutes before this chemical agent takes effect. This film looks like a high-tension horror thriller, and it looks like it's going to be one hell of a game of cat and mouse. And I do love a good game of cat and mouse. And I know you're probably sitting there wondering, Film Geek, why aren't you going out to the movie theaters this weekend? Isn't the movie Venom showing right now? Why didn't you go do that review? Well, guys, that's because I just got back into town. Charming Amy and I went on a little trip this weekend. We went down to Branson, Missouri, and we decided to go to the Silver Dollar City Fall Festival, check out all the sights and whatnot, and I'll tell you more about that after the review if you want to stick around and see some pictures from our trip. But here's an idea, guys. This is the picture I took this morning right before we left to come back home to Kansas City. Look at that beautiful, beautiful southern Missouri sky. Isn't it gorgeous? That's what I got to wake up to this morning. And then, well, come back to my good old place here in Kansas City. And you know, it was just in time because I want to get over there to the futon because, you know, as always, my cat Haku is waiting on me. And you know what? If there is one creature on the face of this earth that enjoys a good cat and mouse movie, it's my cat Haku. So we'll be back in just a moment with my review and a little bit more after the review of Don't Move. Just getting done watching Don't Move, and guys, I really enjoyed this film. I thought this was a well-crafted, put-together thriller with some horror elements tossed in. So let's get this started, shall we? We're going to get things started with negatives, then move into the positives to end the video on the ever so important high note. And also, just a quick reminder, after this review, I am going to go into all of the cool stuff that we picked up while we were in Branson and at the Fall Festival at Silver Dollar City. So just a quick reminder, if you want to stick around for that, it's going to be at the end of the review. So let's get this started, shall we, with the negatives. The first thing I want to talk about is just the vibe of this film. Now, I did say this was a thriller with horror elements tossed in. Now, while there are some very shocking moments and some scenes that really build some great tension and suspense, at no time did I feel like this film was openly trying to scare me. Now, I do feel like it kept me on the edge of my seat in a lot of moments. There are some very well-crafted moments that do build a lot of tension, but I don't feel like this movie was openly trying to scare me. At no time did I feel any kind of overwhelming dread, and I never really felt too awful scared. There are some decent jump scare moments, you might say, but none of them that really, you know, get the old blood boiling and all. You kind of see all of them coming. This movie is also, doesn't really bring anything new really to the cat and mouse type of movie, but this film doesn't rely on the cat and mouse trope for the entire film. I would say only about the first half of the movie maybe is just a cat and mouse thing, and then once this drug takes hold of her, the film goes into a completely different genre almost. It becomes like an escape film basically. However, she's in a prison of her own body, which brings into some new elements and that I really enjoyed about this film. So we're gonna go into the positives. So yeah, maybe the film didn't build a lot of scares, but it did build some really great tense moments. This movie does have some fairly violent scenes in it also, if you're not someone who wants to see some pretty well done kills, to be perfectly honest. Now, they're nothing over the top, they're very grounded in reality, but if you're someone who cannot take gore or honestly, like very realistically, very well made, real kind of violence, you might have some moments in this film where you might have to turn your head, but there's not a lot of it in the film to really gross you out or anything of that sort. Now, the story in this film is basic. It doesn't bring a lot to the table like I was saying, but it does do something neat. It doesn't rely on the cat and mouse aspect whatsoever. It does go into a completely different genre when she's kind of kept hostage in her own body. I like the elements that it brought to that because it brought in some ideas of what is being captured. She's not tied up or anything. This drug is keeping her completely prison, just her mind working, while everything around her is just being controlled by this guy. And it does a great job of making the film a lot of tension and a lot of suspense in those moments. And it does make you wonder what is going to happen next. You start questioning a lot of times in this film, is this going to end on a high note? Are we going to have a good ending here? What is going to happen? And I like the fact that the film does keep you guessing up till the very end on how this is going to turn out. The acting in this film is also extremely solid. I'm not familiar with our lead actress in this film, Kelsey Asbill, but she did an excellent job in this film. Considering a good portion of this movie, she can't speak and she's pretty much just communicating with her eyes in a lot of scenes in this movie, and she does an outstanding job in the role. Also, our villain of this story is played by Finn Wittrock, and he does an extremely good job of playing this very sadistic and just downright evil murderer. And also, of course, he's got some elements to him that make him kind of quirky and weird and all. There are some great elements, there's some great suspenseful moments with him involved too, where you think that this guy is going to get caught and you think, oh, there's no possible way he's going to weasel himself out of this one, and you know, he weasels his way out of this one. All in all, guys, I have to say that this is a really solid, well-made thriller and a good film if you want to watch something that's not going to scare the pants off of you, but it's going to give you some really great tense moments that are going to stick with you up till the very end for you to watch on this good old Halloween season. If you're not someone that loves the intense blood and guts, but you do like just a tad bit of the old violence, this is also a good movie for you. So all in all, I'd have to say, if you have a subscription to Netflix, definitely check this movie out. It's worth your time. Alright guys, that's all I have for the actual review portion of this video, so let's get into some of the fun little details at Silver Dollar City. So a little sip here going into this moment. Alright, so here we are. So if you're not familiar with Silver Dollar City, Silver Dollar City is a theme park in Branson, Missouri, and it's themed in the late 1800s of the Ozark Mountains. So it's basically supposed to be like how people lived in those time periods if there were roller coasters and other thrill rides around them. And so they have a lot of really cool artisan goods and things of that sort. And when we went down there, we went down mostly for the fall festival, and they had the place all done up with all these pumpkins and different types of sculptures of jack-o'-lanterns and different figures and all. It was a lot of fun, a lot of really great elements. They had an area set up that was just kind of Dance Party USA or something. I don't know how else to put it other than that. There were just big people dressed up in very bright colors dancing around to, you know, popular pop music and everything. I think everybody was dancing. I think it was like some kind of dance party or anything. We was a little loud over in that area, and we didn't come there for all the loud, but anyways, we had a great time. We had a really good time down at Silver Dollar City checking out all the different crafts and all, which brings me to my first item. This is something that I've actually wanted to pick up for quite some time, and it's one of those items that you're just like, I don't know why I need this. It's you know, it's like, I don't know if I want to spend the money on this, and you go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But if there's one artisan, one craft that I absolutely love watching every time we go down there, is the glass blowers. I can sit and watch their demonstration all day long. I am absolutely blown away with the art of blowing glass. And so this time, I finally pulled the trigger on something I've always wanted, and that is this beautiful glass blown pumpkin. And I'm going to try to, I'm not doing B-roll or anything, I'm just doing this here. So I'm going to get this a little close to the camera so you can kind of see it here. And you can see the work and the craftsmanship that went into this. This was completely done with blown glass, and they made this really cool. This has got some weight to it, by the way, also. This was made at Silver Dollar City, just to kind of give you an idea of the kind of quality and all that you will find at the goods and all that are made there at the park. This is not your average theme park. These folks go all out. Like, if you're familiar with Dollywood, it's similar. It's similar. All right. So Silver Dollar City was fun. We also got the tasting pass for the festival, which gave us the gave us the ability to try all sorts of different kind of foods down there that they had on special and everything. It was a really good time. And so that's how we spent a little bit of our time. And then of course we had to get out to the flea markets, of course, and check out and see if we can find some cool, unique things down there. Now this is the collectible that I was talking about, that I don't talk, that I collect. And I really get a kick out of collecting these, okay? I have a very large collection of character glasses, like the character glasses from the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, all of the ones that you used to find at the fast food restaurants, right? This is the first Popeye that I have seen, honestly, that is from actual Popeye's chicken. Yeah, it's right there. Look at that, if you can see that. Popeye's chicken. And you know what's funny about that? What's funny about the fact that this is a Popeye's the Sailor cup that is, made for Popeye's chicken, is that Popeye the Sailor was not the inspiration for Popeye's chicken. Oh no, it was the movie The French Connection. The character Jimmy Popeye Doyle. I think I had that right. Played by Gene Hackman. That was the person who actually inspired the name Popeyes for Popeye's chicken, not Popeye the Sailor Man. So I find it hilarious that this glass came from Popeye's chicken, so that's cool. And I like the shape of it too, it's kind of neat. All right, so of course we went to the flea market. We're still at the flea market. I did pick up some movies. I didn't go hog wild, but I did get some pretty good deals. All of these were right around the $2 to $1 range. Starting off with Xanadu. We're gonna do some roller skates and disco. Roller skating disco for you. Olivia Newton-John, roller skating. I'm gonna stop. Okay, Xanadu. Yeah, I can't believe I found a copy of Xanadu. This is another one I could not believe. I am in southern Missouri. I am not expecting that I'm going to find City of Lost Children, a freaking, French surrealist film starring, I forget. Oh, sorry, I forgot. Ron Perlman. Oh, jeez, there we go. Starring Ron Perlman. I can't believe I found this here. This was awesome. I was very excited to find that movie. Now, this next film is just more of a personal favorite from my childhood-ish, and that is Dream a Little Dream. I honestly haven't watched this movie since, I think, my early teens. I remember liking it, but I also know that this is one of those movies that people are like, it actually is complete and absolute crap when you watch it as an adult. So I don't know. We're going to find out, but I picked up a copy of Dream a Little Dream. This is a really fun action film, shoot 'em up, Clive Owens, Paul Giamatti, excellent, super fun film. And then Layer Cake. I don't know. I know that this is supposed to be a good film. I've heard good things about this movie. I picked it up for $1, so we're going to find out. And then this I really was pretty stoked about. Don't Breathe and Don't Breathe 2. These are pretty recent, and I picked this up for a freaking $1. So some good finds at the old flea market. Now, that brings me to another stop. We went out to the old outlet, and that was the Disney outlet, and we picked up a few pretty neat items at the Disney outlet. This is one that I got, and this is a Nightmare Before Christmas, just kind of PVC set. I think that's what you say, right? Is that PVC? I don't know, but to be very honest, I thought it was cool. It's just a bunch of still figures, and this is probably going to stay in case. I generally like to take this stuff out, to be perfectly honest, but this is going to probably stay in case, mostly because I have cats, and these will get thrown all over the apartment, and I just do not want that. So this is going to probably stay in there in the case, and I don't know if I could figure out a way to display it back there in the background. I probably will, but we'll see how that turns out. And this is the final item I'm going to show off that we picked up at the Disney store, and this is for Charming Amy. And she picked up a Captain America Loungefly. She, as you see in the intro of my videos, the Loungefly collection that Amy has. She has a ton. We figure anywhere between 30, 35. We haven't really done a count, but that's just Loungefly. She also has other types of brands, and then just some cool bags that are just off brands that she's picked up around the way. So yes, this is an official Loungefly Captain America that we picked up at the Disney store. So there you have it, guys. That was our fun little trip that we took down to Branson, Missouri. Picked up some really fun things. I'm super stoked about my Popeye glass, to be perfectly honest. This is going to be a fun one to add into my collection. Maybe one of these days, if y'all are interested, I'll show off my entire collection of character glasses, because in my opinion, it's quite impressive. Okay, guys, that's all I have for you today. Thanks again for checking out the Film Geek. If you liked what you saw here today, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and give me the old thumbs up so I know you like what you're seeing. And if there's one more thing you can do, folks, that is keep watching movies. You know I'm gonna Xanadu.